How you going, guys? So, welcome back to the video 42, I think it is. I'm still in the middle of editing the last one, which I think was welding up some door gaps, like increasing the metal on the doors, and I started fluffing around with the grill and the radiator and all that sort of stuff. So I've got to carry on with that. Oh yeah, see, he's got me. Yes, he's got me some super etch and stuff like that, because there'll be a lot of stuff to etch and epoxy. So that's cool. Wonder where he got that from. I'm guessing he would have got it from where Dad got stuff from. So yeah, that's cool. So I've got that there too, so I can start flicking a bit of etch on bits and pieces once now that I've got them cleaned up. Starting getting stuff cleaned up. So that's cool. So yeah, we'll get into this radiator and we'll start blowing it apart, and then I'll obviously need to do a bit of body work, panel beating, get that straightened up and get that worked out, and then get the holes drilled in the frame to re-accept that where it's been repaired way earlier on, not by me but way earlier on. So obviously had some repair work done in there, and I haven't re-drilled the holes to hold the radiator, because when I was doing that other stuff, yeah, I was a bit confused, and then we realised what was going on. So I'll get this blown apart in a couple of minutes. Let's get myself sorted out here. Right. Let these off. Then we get the guts out of this, and then we'll have a look and suss out this. I actually meant to suss out some taps and dies when I was at home, but I didn't. Right. And on the start of the last video, I was saying that my cousin wasn't very well, and he is going into surgery for a tumour in his brain. So that surgery was well, he come through it successfully. I'm not sure on the what do I want to call it? I'm not sure exactly how all the surgery went, as in how much of the tumour and all that sort of stuff they got out yet. I haven't heard that much, but he has, from what I understand, he hasn't been affected in any way, like how he was, because they said there was quite a possibility that he may come out the other side not as normal self, if you know what I mean. Like his speech could have been affected, or quite a few things like that, or it might have been even as the way he come across would be different. But so far so good. He hasn't been affected really in any way, except for obviously just going through the surgery and just the recovery from that. And from what I understand, that is all going all good. Yeah, so he came out, and because he had his, what's today, Wednesday morning, so his surgery was successful. He was, I don't know how long he was in surgery for, but it must have been a few hours, because he went in about 9, and I messaged his brother about, I think it was about 11 o'clock or 11:30 or whatever it was on the Monday, and he was still in surgery then. And then we finally got some confirmation late in the afternoon that he was out, and that his speech was fine, he was talking fine, and he could still had obviously full function of his arms and legs and his fingers and his toes, so he had no obvious effects from that, with those sorts of things. So and then he was, I think that there was something to do with that his appetite was really good. So, like, no, those are all good signs. It's just a matter of obviously how well they actually done in the surgery with getting rid of the tumours out of there, and then obviously what the next procedures are with treating obviously what's left, if there's anything left, and all those sorts of things, whether he's got to go through chemo and whether how much of the tumour was actually cancer and how much of it wasn't, and all those sorts of things. So yeah, but apart from that, everything's looking positive at this point, so that's cool. So it's a bit less stress out of everybody's lives, if you know what I mean. Let's see if we can get this out of here. Why don't they frickin' put any edge or anything on this? God, they clean shit up and then they don't protect it. God, that drives me insane. But anyway, at least try and keep the moisture off it. But anyway, so it's damaged. I don't know if you can sort of see, but in here it's bent. So I obviously need to straighten that out. And then obviously have a bit of a measure up and just see what the difference is between here and here. And try and see if we can get that straighter. And obviously so it still fits. Bloody flies. It's got these stupid frickin' flies over here now because of all the frickin' dairy farms. So yeah, you can see how that's kink there and it's not straight. So I need to try and get that right, straighten that all up, and obviously get it prepped. So at least it can be, once we get it right, we can send it away and get it chromed, I guess. Get it as straight as possible, and then they can probably finish it. Which is awkward because that bar's in there, but I'll do my best. But yeah, what I might do is I might just sit it back on the car and just have a decent look now that's having got the grill, the shell on it. Actually, you can see that here now. So it's all twisted. So that's where it's been bent there. It's been bent down there too, is it? Might have been. Hard to say. But yeah, it just doesn't look right. Because you can see if it's sitting down there like that, it's all kicked out on this side. And so yeah, we've got to get that looking nice. Get that all straightened up. So yeah, I'll set the phone up here. It sits in here. Like that somehow. Fortunately, still got line, which is handy, so that'll help hold things. So I need to measure between here and here and here and here. Possibly need to straighten all this out first. Just try and get things fitting square. See, that's the other thing too, is I don't know if these guards are sitting square. The fingers, mud guards, whatever you want to call them. So I need to work all that out. I may push the car back and actually have a decent look. Just probably a silly idea. Just have a general look at it and just see if it is sort of sitting square. Possibly just check with the tyre pressures, make sure they're all even if it doesn't matter if they've got 10 pound in them, as long as they're even, so the car's sort of sitting square. So I might push it back and have a wee, just see, I think. I'll get the running boards off it, get them out of the road so we can have a look and just see how this is, what needs to be done to get these mounted so they're in the right place, both sides. So yeah, we've sort of actually gone away from the head and grill to the front fenders, or front guards, but that needs to be done, I think, before we can get the grill shell right and make sure that's square and plumb and all that sort of thing. And once we've sort of got these guards right, and then we're working on this one, then we can obviously measure from here to here and here to here and there, and we can make sure that this is all square and not all queer and cocked up. Right, one thing I've noticed with this, okay, so these holes here, okay, I haven't unbolted, but these holes here line up okay-ish, but you can see that they're starting to drift off at the top. And if we come down here, so that hole's there, the bracket is here, it's miles away. So we've got to fix this problem first. We need to get the brackets to line up with the holes in the guards before we even bolt them on. And that's why I'm going to check on this other one too, because I don't think anything lines up. And that's probably half the reason why it's not sitting square, because those brackets are twisted or something, and we're fighting that as well as heights and lots of stuff. So we'll see what we can do here and have a wee look. So one of the first things I noticed when we told this off is this is broken through here, it's been repaired, and it's obviously, this has been double skinned and the holes haven't been drilled back through. I line these holes up, and these holes up, and this needs to be drilled. Now, I'm guessing, hard to say, but I'm guessing there's a hole here that's been welded up. I don't know if that's been doesn't look like any material has been replaced here, but it looks like it's had some repairs, obviously. But I'm guessing this here was probably the original hole for that. And that doesn't line up. Now, I don't know if these are bent or not, but I don't think we need to be fighting all this shit. That doesn't want to sit in that position without squeezing and fighting, if you know what I mean. It just doesn't want to sit there nicely at all. So I need to figure that out. yeah, so I'll try and clamp this up in here best I can with a few bolts and pieces that I've got. We'll sort of see how it fits and yeah, work out obviously this here bolt hole, which I think is this one, because that looks like it's where it's been welded up. So why they've done that I don't know, but I'll aim to get it back to there. What I might do is just take a couple of quick measurements on that other fender, just get a rough ballpark figure of how far that should be from the front. We'll see if that is that, and I'll come back to you. Yeah, so from where this was welded up to roughly that front edge on this tape measure was about 300 mils, which is close to 12 inches or a foot. So yeah, that's about what that is. So that's where I need to aim this bracket at. That's where it should be. Should we say? Whether it ends up there, I don't know. But at the moment, it looks like it's at least 3/4 to an inch back from there. Just get a rough look at, but I'll just double check the time. I think it's pretty close to lunchtime. I think I'll just triple check that, and we might visit the rest of this after lunch. Right, I've got a couple of minutes here yet, so I'll just quickly bolt some of the bolts in here. See if we can get it clamped up. Right, so one of the first things I noticed once I got this clamp back up, I can see why this is split, because it's got too much pressure on it. It obviously sits square to the car. Well, who knows, like, because it's obviously got a big bow on it too. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I might have to take that other fender or guard off and just compare notes between those two brackets too, just hold them against each other. I know they're opposite, but at least then I'll be able to see whether they are pointing in the right direction and about the same distance away from things and whatever. So I might have to do that next, just to see whether I'm chasing this bracket or whether I'm chasing both, or the fender, or because I can't get this anywhere near where that hole's meant to be. Like, it's close. When I mean close, it's like it's, what are we? You know, it's got to come back this way and up a bit. But I don't know if that's the bracket or whether it's just the fender's not in shape, if you know what I mean. But it doesn't look like it's really badly bent out of shape, but it has been. It's been bent and damaged at some stage, so it's not to say that it's not right. I can see a few marks and bits and pieces, and obviously where they've straightened it out, and it's been welded up here, so who knows whether it's twisted or what it's done. But we'll get the other one off after lunch and come back and just we'll compare notes with the brackets and see. Alrighty guys, so I've got that other fender off. I've just loosely set this in here at the moment, just initial comparison, so we can see this has been all bent and twisted in here. This is obviously quite straight, but this has actually got a few cracks in it that need obviously ground out and welded up. But apart from that, it looks okay. But what I might do is I might just take this off here and try and clamp it in the vise in the same, even if I can do them side by side, if I can, in the vise, and then just see how they sit. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll come back to you in a minute when I've done what I mean. Righty, so I finally managed to get it into the vise in a way that I could see the differences in how it was bent. So I don't know if you can see that one, the far away one, is way higher. So in theory, when that's bolted to the car, it's going to be pushing that guard up higher. Now, this one here is the one off the off the right hand side of the vehicle, the driver's side, and over here would be the passenger side if you're in the States when it was left hand drive. But so you can clearly see the difference in shape between the two. So I'm guessing this one is the non-bent one. It's got a few cracks in it that need welded up, but I'm guessing this is the one that's not bent. And just because this has been collapsed in here, I'm guessing this is the one that is bent. But I don't know that either. But as long as we can get them both uniform, the same, and then we can get them fitting in the back on the get it to bolt up in here without fighting with it on both guards or fenders, and then we can bolt them back to the vehicle, and they should be the same height then. So yeah, that's the next task, I guess. So this fits a hell of a lot better than the other one does. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better. Obviously this needs straightened. Whether that this doesn't look like it's 100%, but it's close. It needs a bit of tweaking. So obviously this here needs bent round, and this probably needs relaxed in here a little bit, and then we can obviously grind and weld these splits up. But I think apart from that, it fits pretty good. Just see how it's outside of the guards. That's fitting pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. There's no great misalignment with the bolt holes within reason, obviously. A little jiggling here and there, but it's nothing majorly significant out of alignment. So I think pretty happy with that. Oh yeah, I think grind this out and weld it up. And that'll fix that problem, and then obviously dress it up. I might obviously read this out and weld that where split up, and hopefully that'll be right then. And dress up. Yeah, and then we'll start straightening that other one out to suit. I'll just check the time again. I might get a chance to weld that, but apart from that, I don't think I'll get much else chance to do anything else. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do before I weld this crack here, I don't want that to travel any further than what it has, so I'm going to actually drill. I'm going to have just a quick wee wire brush and then just find the end of it and drill it with just a small drill bit and actually drill it out, and then I can weld it up. Yeah, so that'll do for the day. We'll clean that all up tomorrow, grind it up tomorrow and whatever. I'm out of time. So we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Morning, guys. So back here. I'll get this sorted out. I'll just give you a brief update since I've been talking about my cousin, and obviously with going to the States and stuff like that. That's thrown a huge spanner in the works. He's doing pretty well out of obviously surgery and bits and pieces, but it sounds like they didn't get a whole lot of it. I don't really know. I haven't talked to him directly, or I haven't talked to mum and dad of that now in that area, because they were coming down from the North Island from their trip, which was a wee bit delayed because of some flooding further up country, but they managed to get through yesterday. So they're going to keep us really updated until obviously I get a chance to get there Saturday or Sunday, hopefully, to go and see him, because he's still obviously, in a lot of recovery from the surgery, let alone what's going on, the tumour in his head. So yeah, but the prognosis is not good at this stage. They're still talking, like 12, 18 months sort of type thing, give or take, But hopefully with some treatment, it might get longer. It'd be nice with either chemo or maybe some sort of actual natural type method. Because I've heard of massive doses of vitamin C and all those sorts of things can help a lot. If we can stretch his lifespan out from, out to 10 years even, at least that gives him a chance to really wrap things up and see his kids grow a bit, because he's got a couple of younger kids that are about the same age as mine. Yeah, it's pretty tough for all them. But anyway, so I'll get this cleaned up and I'll keep you updated with what's happening there, because I'd hate to run away and go to the States if he has only really got a few months to live, depending obviously when we were able to be allowed to go to the States. I'm still going to follow that through as much as we can, as long as that office stays open with Heidi and Arco, because obviously if I'm here for another 2 years, that changes the whole perspective of everything. But I would definitely like to try and, if I can, get a short holiday period where I can actually go and help and do some videoing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, in the next few months, if things are still looking okay for him, like in his life expectancy is still reasonable. But yeah, I don't want to disappear for a couple of months and then all of a sudden he passes away. Like I'd rather be here for that, and I don't have to try and get over there and then all of a sudden turn around and come back. Yeah, it sort of sucks because he's such a close family member. Like he's more like a brother than a cousin, if you know what I mean. And they're all like that. Like a family group. Like I've seen like cousins, some of my other cousins, like you barely see them. Like they still get your cousins, but you barely see them. Whereas when we grew up, every weekend, especially when we got older, every second night we're at each other's house doing something. When we're teenagers and young adults fixing cars and whatever. So, like I said earlier, he's like a brother and a best mate, not a cousin that you sort of see 3 or 4 times a year, if you know what I mean. He's like, yeah, we lived in each other's hip pockets, basically. So we'll get this cleaned up and I'll get back to it, and I'll keep you updated when I know more. All right, I'll try and get this ground up and cleaned up. Right. So as you can see, it's a lot different. I'm pretty sure I got it pretty even down here. Oh, I'll turn around that way. So I've got this shape in about the same place. Obviously that's going to be bent down, but I'm not too worried about that. But the height difference from where that curves down and that piece meets on, we're in about the same spot. So you can see that is totally different. So where does it start being different? Is it way back here even? It could be just that. But I think if I straighten this out, start off where it's bent here, this piece, this is nice and straight, where this is all collapsed in. I think if we heat that up and straighten that out, and then see what it brings us, and I'll see this has got a slight slope on it over here, but this is quite square. I think this is quite square to the table, because this is all kicking out, so hopefully when we straighten it up, it calms it up and around like that, and then we can obviously fix that. Yeah, hopefully. I guess it is different, but it's not different. We'll get it as close as we can when we sort of sit them side by side. But yeah, right, we'll get this heated up. Start the video again, just so not too longer bits when I'm trying to edit. Right, crank up the gas and we'll get this heated up. Pull it down, we'll have a look. Back over here, Sonny. Righty, let's have another look. Did that help anything at all? Bloody did, isn't it? Not really. Shove that in there. Let's have a look at this guard for start off. Just wonder if it's a bit in here, whether it's squashed. Still a couple of measurements across here and just have a wee see. This theory should be fairly even. 250. Yeah, let's narrow it down, isn't it? Let's look at this other one quickly. So So yes, this guard's squashed in too. That other one's pretty much even. About 255 across, or thereabouts now, it's about 250-ish. It's not too bad to hear, and then all of a sudden we're in 10 mil more. That'll make a hell of a difference. So we need to, obviously this has been damaged, it's pulled in. So we'll beat that out a little bit. Okay, with a couple of love taps. We'll quickly measure and just, if that's improved anything. Still got to come out. Needs more. Whether it needs it both sides or not, I don't know. I'll give it another little bit around here, and then I'll maybe do a bit around here. See if I can persuade it out a little bit. Come back to you when I'm finished. Right, I've opened this gap up. It's about 250-ish now. I could probably do it a little bit wider, but when I obviously do the panel beating and actually think I'll get it a little bit cleaner. But so I've clamped these in here. I've got this end as square as I possibly can to the end and along with here. So in theory they should be sitting at the same angle. Obviously one's one the other way, but I'm just looking down here, this one here, which is the one that's for that. You can see it needs to come back up, or half an inch or thereabouts. So I might just leave them both in the vise and see if I can get this one to move back in to there, because it's still fighting me, get it to move up, and then obviously as long as everything looks good at the same sort of position, but everything else sort of looks pretty reasonable, we shouldn't be far away. So I'll do that and see if we can get it to tweak and sit there at the same stage and or same point, and hopefully then it'll fit. See if it fits now. Stupid bloody thing. There's always something to fight in there. Comes to cars, there's always something to fight. Right. We're getting there now. Right, we're getting closer. It's kind of in the right place. Okay. This here piece where it's broken doesn't look like it's got quite as much pressure on there anymore. Maybe. Either that I might just need to straighten this. It might be the right angle either by the looks of it. Hard to say. Because it doesn't look like this is bent through here. It's all bent in here. We're in the ballpark now. I might bolt this down and just get a really good look. See how far away we are from there. holes now without fighting it. For some reason. Washer. Wonder. Just thinking out loud here. I wonder if I should have need to bolt these back on and just see. What I've done is shifted anything, and obviously it's just see if I can get them on there a bit squarer. Yeah, I reckon this has got too much of a bend in it. That's why it's broken. It just needs tweaked around. Kind of close, but it's too high now. That's not to say that something's not right here. I'll have to bolt it back on and just have a wee look. I think we'll do that.